little connection thing is getting on my nerves, but. Hold on.
Oh, we ain't saying nobody. Tag friends.
One more time.
Hey, Mama Diane.
Oops.
Hey, Lita. Clarissa. No words for you. No words for you. Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? Everybody having a good Thursday night?
Good Thursday night.
Everybody had a good day?
Had a good day.
Why are you mocking me?
I'm not mocking you. I'm just repeating the same thing you're saying.
Mocking me.
Last time.
All right, last time we get ready to roll, y'all. We get ready to roll. Let's get some thumbs up. Let's get some hearts going. Share this video with your friends. Share this video with your family.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? I don't know just yet because TJ's doing something.
Why are
So,
you trying to call out my transgressions? Just
so
talk to
as
the
soon
people.
as soon as he finished doing what he doing, we gonna move on.
Talk to the people. Talk to the people.
Well, I was trying to see what they were saying.
What are they saying?
You know, how were they feeling?
How are they feeling? Talk to
How
them.
you feeling?
I'm feeling good after I finish doing this.
You feeling good?
Yeah, keep talking to the folks.
Yeah,
Talk to the
check
folks.
it out, the men.
Look, stop being so close to the advice.
I'm trying to support you in this one.
Support me.
Yeah.
I don't need your support.
All right. Okay, that's enough, babe.
Shh.
Really?
I didn't show you.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I was.
Mama
no,
Diane.
It was this.
Hey, Lita, Clarissa. Tighten up. Hey, Cynthia. How you doing? How's everybody feeling? How's everybody doing? We're going to kind of jump right into it. Last week, we had... we jumped right into it. So last week, we had a discussion, what do men want? And the thought crossed my mind because, you know, I realized sometimes, even in my own relationship...
Yeah, even in her own relationship.
That we as women, we do a lot of talking. We verbalize just about every emotion. Most of us, I'm not saying all of us, but most of us, we tell our husbands or we tell our friends how we feeling when we feeling it, whether it be happy, mad, sad, whatever. We tell people how we feel. We are very vocal. Yes, we're very vocal in telling things. But when it comes to men, hey George, when it comes to men, they express themselves. Most men, I ain't gonna say all men, but most men express themselves, but they express themselves a little differently. And a lot of times they don't express all of us, but most of us.
Shh, keep talking, man. Express yourself.
And they don't express themselves like we express ourselves. And so sometimes when they do finally vocalize how they feel or tell you what's on their mind, I wonder sometimes, do we really listen to what they're saying? And so last week we had a great discussion. We had a lot of people to chime in. A lot of men chimed in because I really wanted to hear from the men. TJ had a lot to say because not only did I ask them what they want, you know what I'm saying, how they're feeling, but I even started the conversation off with, you know, what type of woman do they look for? I
know, George.
You know what I'm saying? All that type of stuff. What type of characteristics Charles Sands kicked in, and he was talking about the different types of What are you doing?
Calm down. You showing the folks how you act, how you treat me behind when we off Thursday Love.
This is how you do anyway. Whatever. Anyway, so you know, we had a great discussion, and so it seemed like we just wanted to continue it because on this past week I was trying to see the difference between actually listening to somebody and hearing somebody. So do anybody up here, do they know the definition of listening and hearing? I mean, I ain't talking about go Google it real quick, but for those who...
Faith come by hearing and hearing by the word of God.
But, really? Really?
You can never go wrong with scripture.
So do you want to get everybody a little summary of what you talked about on last week?
I don't remember what I talked about last week.
Wow. You ain't helping me not one bit here. Not one bit. This segment is about the men and you're not helping me not one bit. Not one bit. Not one bit at all. But no, for real though. So, you know, what were some of the thoughts that you discussed when it comes from, you know, we as wives listening to you, you know, when you talked about things that, you know, that were on your mind, that was on your heart?
I mean, we basically talked about
hey, Daddy.
how
Hi, Reese.
we once talked about how with men it takes a lot for us to come. Man, it takes a lot. Hey, Clarice. It takes a lot for us even to express how we feel. Like it literally, it's like things. They ain't gonna say they lie dormant, but as men, we take a lot of stuff. Like because according to society, you know, men who are very vocal and expressive, they're considered as weak. It's a whole lot of crap that society say. It's amazing how society can, who does not have your everyday life, who don't know what you have to go through every day, has the right to judge and say what you can and can't do.
Right.
And as men, we already got a bad rap, whether they're saying, you know, we deadbeat fathers or we're abusive or we don't know how to, we lazy, all this negative mess that society has about men. We keep a lot of stuff bottled up inside. Not just that, but before we say something, we have to weigh our options. We have to make sure that we say something, you know what I'm saying, that it has weight, it has value. If not, once again, we're looked upon as negative. We can't make up our mind. We don't know what we want. It's so much negative stuff as men. And so for us to be able to come to our spouse to have a down moment, or not a down moment, but to have a moment where we can express ourselves, to release, you know what I'm saying, what you use this term, us having to come down off our ladder. And be able to express to our significant other how we feel. You know, look, you know, today wasn't a good day for me, or you know, I'm feeling weak in this area, and it's not a admittance of I'm feeling the weak in this area, so I'm gonna remain weak in this area. But it's just to say, look, you want me to express to you how I feel. So hey, look, I'm coming to express to you how I feel. This is how I'm feeling today. And when we come to you to express how we feel, we you know how we always talk about the no judgment zone. Right. Well, as a man, when we come to you to talk to you how we feel, we don't come to you to talk. So like women say, well, when I come to you and I talk to you, I don't come to you so you can solve the problem. I just want you to listen. Well, it's like that for a man. Well, that's how y'all like. I don't want you to be Mr. Fixer. I just want you to hear how I feel. Or y'all get with y'all girlfriends and y'all, you know, all this other stuff. It's the same thing really with men. Most of the time when we come to y'all, we know the solution. But sometimes we just gotta get out how we feeling. You know what I'm saying? We come down and express to you, and we want it to be a no judgment zone. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want us to judge. Women don't want us to judge them or to solve their problem. Right. So we come to you, and we express how we feel. No judgment. We just want to come to talk. But a lot of times, what happens is when we do come to talk, we're judged. You know, which is not fair because we're judged already by society. And for our spouse to judge us on top of already being judged by society, that makes us not want to come and talk at all. Okay. You know, because it makes us feel like, yo, she's really not listening to me in the first place because she already has in her mind how she think I should be or how, you know, whatever the case is. So sometimes it causes us to be reclusive. Okay. Yeah, and that was some of the things that we talked about on last week. Because we even talked about as a woman, you know what I'm saying? Because TJ had an issue. He had an issue and he had a problem with coming and talking to me about something. And then he finally made a decision to come and talk to me. And he was vulnerable and he honestly didn't have an answer. He's like, I don't know what to do. He said, this is my truth. This is where I'm at. And I really just don't know what to do. And I was just like, okay. And I was saying that as a woman, some of us, we just want you to come and say something. Because when you're standoff or when you're trying to figure it out, because y'all talked, a lot of men talked about that last week, that they're trying to figure out because men want to be in control. Like you said, they're fixers, they solutionists, and you want to. I don't think it's so much as want to be in control. That's not the issue. We don't want to be in control. A lot of times we'll put in the position where we have to be in control. Control, yeah. So we don't want. It seems like to us. But and I'm saying to you, it's not that. I mean, and because you could go back and forth and say there are some women who just want to be in control. True. You know what I'm saying? So Thurman. It's not that we want to be in control. you know, it's not, like I said, we're put in a position where, I mean, and really biblically, we put in a position where, you know, man is the head of the household.
Right.
But it's not, like I said, I'm glad you actually said, we should be able, no, we don't necessarily want to be in control. You know what I'm saying? We just want to be human.
Yeah, for the men that are up here, how do you feel like you in a position where you feel like you're put in control of things, or you feel like you are in control of things? You know, for the men that are up here, what is it on your mind that you would say, for those that are dating, for those that are single, those who are looking for a wife, what is it that you want in a woman? You know what I'm saying? What is it that you want in a relationship? For those that are married, you know what I'm saying? What is it that you want that you feel like you're not being heard, or your wife or your spouse is not listening to? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like TJ just said, he said he doesn't want to be in control.
No, it's not that I don't want to be in control, but the way you say it, well, men just want to be in control.
Well, that's what I thought.
Men just don't want to be in control. Because see, that's how you said that is how a lot of women say, men just want to be in control. They just want to be controlling. They just want to be domineering. And because when you say that,
wasn't saying it like that.
No, but I'm saying when you say that statement,
yeah,
in some people's mind, in your mind, it says, you know, I'm not really saying that men want to be in control, but in some women's mind, men just want to be domineering. They just want to rule me. That's how that, and it comes sometimes really from how society views men. And it does sometimes come from how some men have been. I'm not saying that men are innocent, because they're not. There are some men who are domineering, who in the household, their wife is the slave. She's just a housewife. She's just gonna cook. She's just gonna clean. She's just gonna take care of my needs, and that's it. Some men have made it. Some men have made it bad for some men.
Right.
But it's also bad for women to generalize all men as the same, because we're not all the same. Right. We are, just like the Bible says, we are all fearfully and wonderfully made. God has created us all to be different. I'm glad I'm not like the next man, because it's boring to me. Right. But when, like I said, different comments come across. Each female has their own opinion about comments like that. Okay, is what I'm saying. Okay. So it's all about how my dad would say. It's not what you say, but it's how you say it. Okay. And the context in which you use it in. Okay.
Previs Foster said, I need her to appreciate and honor my feelings. Okay. So
I'm glad you said that, man.
Yeah, you know. Go ahead.
Because when you say that, when men say, for some women, not all, but for some women, when men say, I need her to appreciate and honor my feelings, women are like, oh, you soft. Well, look, what are we supposed to have as men? We human also. We have feelings. We have emotions. Pretty much everything a female has except that thing that comes once a month. and having babies.
And the body parts.
And the body parts.
Yeah.
Men have too.
Body parts.
Men have feelings. Men have emotions. Sometimes men do cry. Now, it's a point in time to cry. You don't cry about everything. Sometimes men get weak. We're not Superman. You know what I'm saying? We have emotions, we have feelings, and yes, we want our wife, our spouse, our significant other, whatever. We want them to appreciate. Men just want to feel appreciated in the first place. We want them to honor our feelings. Why would we not want a woman to honor our feelings?
So as a wife or as a significant other, we should ask you, how do I what is it that you want? When a guy says, appreciate and honor my feelings, so what does that look like?
Because he said two things. He said appreciate and honor.
So that's like respect.
Right.
So, yeah.
I need you to appreciate how I feel and then respect how I feel.
Okay.
Because if I come to you, okay, and say, look, today I'm just having an off day. Mm-hmm. I need you to respect how I feel.
Okay.
Why am I coming to you in the first place if that's not what I'm asking you to do? It's kind of like women say, well, man, I need you to just be able to read between the lines. Sometimes as men, we need our spouse to be able to read between the lines. Because sometimes we don't know how to verbally completely express how we feel. Okay. Like some women, well, you need to be sure about what you say. Sometimes when we're going through things as men, we don't have the proper words to fully express how we feel. We're not encyclopedia. You know what I'm saying? There are some days, encyclopedia, dictionary, however you want to say it. Yeah. There are some times when we're not able to fully express how we feel verbally. And sometimes we do need our spouse. I mean, I know you can't read our minds. You're not unless even for those who are prophets or prophets or whatever you call it. We only know what God says, right, what He reveals. But sometimes we do need our wife sometimes to be able to read between the lines, even from our vocal, even to our not just our verbal, but our what's the word? How we acting.
Your behavior. And that's what I was going to add into. Okay, so it says the difference between listening and hearing. Hearing is an act of perceiving sound, receiving sound waves and vibrations through your ear or whatever. But listening is the act of hearing a sound and understanding what you hear. So when I actually listen to you, I'm paying attention, I'm focused on you, and I'm actually comprehending what you're saying, and I'm coming to an understanding. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? So what you're saying is, a woman needs to learn how to not only listen to your words verbally, but we need to also listen to your behaviors, your body cues. You know what I'm saying?
Body language.
Yeah, your body. And then listen to what you're not saying as well.
Listen to what we're not saying.
Because even when you're not saying something, you're really saying something.
And I think it's... Okay. I don't think it's... I think it's really... Personally, my personal... I believe it's the nonverbal communication that is what's the most important. It's what I'm not saying. That is really important. And
as women, it's hard for us to deal with that because we're so verbal.
And there you go.
Because we're so verbal.
Women, I just want you to come in. I just want you to come and tell me how you feel.
Right.
Well, if I'm a jolly person, right? If I'm always in a good mood and I'm always laughing, but you notice that for the last week I haven't been that jolly person. I haven't been the laughing person.
Right.
I don't have to come and tell you and say, hey, you know what? I'm not in the same place where I used to be right now. Right now, you should be able to pick up and say something's not right. Like he's not joking. He's not playing. Something must be going on. Let me sit back, like women want the men to observe them.
Right.
Let me sit back and observe him and say and try to see what's going on. Maybe I can figure out what's going on without him having to come to me to tell me exactly what's going on. Mm-hmm. Let me be able to read his nonverbal communication. Let me be able to... He's going to talk to me because evidently what's going on, he's not upset with me. Maybe he's going to say something in the conversation that that we're having to kind of say, oh, that's what's going on. And for those who pray, maybe I just need to go and pray about what he's saying. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I need to go and pray about what he's not saying.
Right.
Because yes, we want to be men, and just like women want to be heard, they want us to hear them, understand and process what they're saying. Men are the same. We want to be heard.
It's just communicated differently.
It's communicated differently.
And see, and I think that's the thing we were discussing earlier. Men have a way of communicating. You have some men out there, they're awesome at communicating. They know how to verbalize exactly what they're saying. But there's some men out there who really, they don't know how to really verbalize their words. I can even say that even for myself sometimes when I got thoughts, when I got things that I'm thinking about and I want to express them, it's hard for me to express exactly what I'm saying. So sometimes we really have to take the time to, when TJ's expressing something to me, he was using the example, like he told me to do an assignment or whatever. And I heard him, but apparently I was not listening because I didn't do the assignment and I did it and I heard it all wrong. And I didn't take the time to actually listen. And I mean, he said it, but in the way I perceived it, that he didn't say it the right way. I was like, well, if you had said this, then I would have got it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes men talk a totally different way. And you have to, if you're married or you're dating someone and you're talking about marriage or whatever, you really need to learn how they communicate. It's not so much how they say it. I'm flipping it now. It's not so much how they say it. It's actually what they say. Because honestly, I'm going to the store and, I went out. It could be the same thing to them. And to us as women, we could be like, well, you went out where? You know what I'm saying? We twisted like, what do you mean you went out? You went out where? So those type of things.
Mary said, this is teaching me about Thomas quietness. Thank you. See, those who pray, and I hope it's everybody. Whenever you pray to God, most of us when we pray, we're always talking. We're always talking. And God is like, well, dang, look, when do I get a time to speak? And when we're always talking, God never has an opportunity to speak. Mm-hmm. And for men, like I said, we may not be able to verbally tell you how we feel. Mm-hmm. And it's when we're quiet, women, you have to be able to. You gotta get to learn your man. And yes, men, we need to learn our women also. Mm-hmm. But you gotta learn your man to figure out, why is he not talking? Because when we're not talking, that doesn't mean that we thinking about another woman. It doesn't think about we thinking about we on some doing some private stuff that's not the case.
Right.
Sometimes we go through stuff, ladies. We go through stuff. Some men go through things.
Right.
Men go through a lot of things.
Right.
Men, there's some things we're going to tell you about. And then there's some things we're not going to tell you about.
And which you have to grow to be comfortable with, too, because that's something that I'm learning as a wife, is that TJ doesn't tell me everything. I tell him everything, and he doesn't tell me everything, and I'm like,
and one of the reasons
I feel some
why,
type of way about that.
One of the reasons why, it's not that I want Sherrie to know what's going on. Some things... Good. So then you want to talk about me? All right, yes, right. All right, okay. Because most of us as men, here's the thing. Now, most women think that they just, I want you just to come talk to me. I want you to tell me what's going on. Well, men, most of us husbands, we realize also that our wives, that you go through a lot of stuff. Either your mother, your wife. You got stuff you got to deal with in your job. You got stuff you got to deal with personally on your own. Mm-hmm. You got some things that you wish you could have done that you should have done 15, 20 years ago that you're disappointed about. What I'm saying is you have a lot of things. You got a lot on your plate also. So most of us as men, when we're going through stuff, some things we do tell you about. But then some things we're like, you know what? I'm not going to tell her about this because all she's going to do, either she's going to get mad at that person or she's going to start worrying even more on top of the plate that she already has. You know what I'm saying? So right now, and then sometimes if we know that you really can't do anything about what we're going through, or you don't have the issue, I mean, you don't know how to, you can't solve the issue that we have. Sometimes we don't, that's another reason why we don't say anything. It's not that we're trying to keep something from you or we don't think that you are strong enough to handle. It's just, we take a lot of things in consideration, man, before we come to you and say something. I promise you, we take a lot of things. We weigh the option. If I say this to her, how's she going to act? If I don't say this to her, how's she going to act? If I say this, is she going to be able to do anything about this? There's a lot of things, man, that we process in our mind before we bring something before you. It's honestly, I'm not saying our wives are God, but it's like coming before God. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to come before God any kind of way. Yes, you can tell God anything, but when you come to God in honor and respect. Right. And a lot of times we don't tell our wives stuff. It's not because we're trying to disrespect our wives, because we respect our wives. And sometimes it's why we respect their time. We respect their life. We respect what they have to go through. It's because we respect you, ladies, sometimes why we don't come and say some things to you. No, I'm gonna get Clarissa. But you forgot Travis. Travis Foster. He said not. Yeah, he said not to downplay or don't devalue me as a man. Right? Men don't like to be devalued. Men don't like. We already. Man, look. As a society, men, we're already devalued. You could turn on the TV and see us getting devalued. Mm-hmm. We've been devalued. We've been devalued since slave. Matter of fact, we've been devalued since the Bible days. Egypt. Men has always been devalued. It's not to say that women does not have a hard plight, because you do. You have an enormous plight. Yeah. But sometimes as black men, as black men, as men, period. Yeah. What we're asking you, ladies, we're asking you to flip the script. Don't treat us like society treats us. It's already hard enough as it is. Don't treat us like society treats us, because we're beat down every day. It takes a lot for ladies to be able to, like I said, to handle your responsibilities, to be wives, right, to be mothers, to have to deal with aggravated stuff in your jobs, like I said, family members. Right. It just like it takes a lot for y'all to do that. It takes a lot for us to get out of the bed in the morning. No, we don't want to get up every day and go to work, but we understand the fact that if we don't get up and go to work, there's something gonna go lacking. You know what I'm saying? So as a man, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. So we get up and we go and we do what we have to do. Every man, according to society, every man is not sorry. There are some men who love providing. I got a lot up here. I love providing for my family. I love my family has it in it. It makes me stick my chest out when they can open up the refrigerator and there's something in there, or when they get to crank up that car, that thing can move. It makes me feel like she ain't got to tell me thank you. But just me knowing I'm in that position to be able to do that, it makes me feel like the greatest thing ever. Sometimes we do need you to say, you know what, baby, I appreciate you. Without us coming to have to say, hey, how come you didn't tell me that I put gas in the car? How come you didn't tell me that I washed your car? How come you didn't tell me that, just sometimes just tell them thank you. Yeah, just that thank you right there, without you having to say anything, will make him get his tail up 5 hours earlier the next day to go to work, because my wife, she loves and she loves that I'm doing this. She respects that I'm doing this, and she appreciates, just like Previs said, she appreciates what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
So I'll do Clarissa. Clarissa, Ed
Well,
said something.
I was
We
going
already
to
got
read.
it.
I was going to read hers.
Go ahead then.
Because she said Ed said. I don't want to
Okay,
say
we'll
Ed
say-
said.
okay.
Hey, yo, let me tell y'all, I think y'all, we have reached the pinnacle. Oh, it's over. Thursday Love. We hit the high. All right. So Clarissa J. Evans. I don't really know what the J stand for, but Clarissa J. Evans said, Ed said sometimes we as men not only need our women to listen and hear our feelings, but we also need encouragement from our wives. I hadn't even read the comment, and I said it. Exactly. Yeah. We are on it, El. We need that encouragement. Women, you don't understand. You don't understand. We need it. Mm-hmm. It's not an option.
I agree.
And I'm being honest. It's not an option for us to hear encouragement. Like I said, we're already battered down. Either we accuse of something that we didn't do. Like I said, we lazy. They say we sorry. They say we deadbeats. They say we don't know what we want. That they say. They say. There's a lot of negativity, man, that we hear every single day that we ain't gonna tell you about. There's a lot of negativity that we hear. We hear side comments. We hear all that stuff. There's a lot of negativity that we hear every day about what we should be or how we're not and what we don't have. But I'm telling you, when that wife, when she says something that's against what the naysayers say, it don't matter what any. Let me tell y'all something, ladies. It does not matter what any mama or any other female say about us. What matters is what you say about us. They can call us trash, garbage, the worst thing that God has ever created. But if that wife say, hey, I appreciate you, I love you, you're the greatest thing, you look gorgeous, you are so handsome, and we know we look like crap. But if she says, if that wife tells us that we look like something or that they appreciate what we do, I promise you it means the world. We may not ever say, baby, I appreciate what you said. But that action that we show y'all, it's going to say, we appreciate it. We might not say nothing. We might not make a facial expression. We might not cry in front of you. We might not smile. We might not do nothing. We might have a blush. We might look at you like you ain't say the word. But I promise you, man, when you tell us that you appreciate us, when you tell us that you love us, when you tell us that when you tell us thank you, and yes, men, we can do this. We can do the same thing to our wives. But when you tell us that stuff, man, it means the world to us. George said, Trivia knows me well enough to figure out when something is up. I can walk in the house and she can look at me and know how my day has been. Women, you gotta have a spirit of discernment. You gotta be able to discern how your husband feels without him having to say it. Because honestly,
study him.
Yes, the Bible says study to show thyself approved.
We didn't say it biblically. I was just saying
but I'm still saying what the Bible says. It says
that's the word.
So my thing is, if sometimes as men we don't feel like talking about it. We just don't feel like talking about it. And we're not saying that, as women, we should keep everything. No, we're not going to keep everything in us. That's one thing you can rest assured. We're not going to keep everything. The Bible says there's a time and season for everything. For men, when we ready to talk about that thing that's bothering us, I promise you, we would not be in the dark. We're going to come to you and we're going to let you know. And we're going to let you know beyond that.
But what about that man who really has a hard time expressing anything? Any details, anything? Because I hear you. You've come to a point. You've matured to a point to where you express yourself. You tell me when you ready, and you tell me how you feel. But there's some men out there who still battle with that. So what would you say to them?
Hold on. So Clarissa said women require details. You do. I'm coming to you. You do, ladies. You do require details. I understand that, but you also got to know your man. Most of us as men, we did. How I want to say this.
And for any of the men that want to chime in and say how they feel.
Yes, you want details. But sometimes as men, we don't have all the details that you're looking for. Yes, women, you are informational. But we as men, we understand that. It's not like, Sherrie loves details. She does. She loves details. She loves them down to the T. But you also have to understand sometimes women, we don't have the details to tell you. And then if we do know the details, sometimes we're trying to figure out how we should say it to you. Because once that thing come out of our mouth, we can't take it back.
Right.
We can't. It's not to say that the word of a woman doesn't hold weight, but the word of a man holds more, especially in the household. The word of a man holds more weight than anything ever. I can walk into this house and say one word to Sherrie and crush her, or I can walk into this house and say one word to her to make her feel like she's just the queen of everything.
Yeah.
No matter how I feel, no matter how I went through that day, what I say has weight. And what you say also, women, has weight. We said that earlier.
It should have weight.
But sometimes when the man can't give you the details, don't jump down his throat, because he might not know how to express it at that point in time. Yeah. And for men, Sherrie said, what about that man who don't really know how to express? I promise you, we're going to express some way, somehow. We're going to express to you how we're feeling. We ain't going to keep everything inside of us, because it'll kill you if you do.
I said for that man that doesn't. Because everybody, that's why I said everybody's not at that place. There are some men who struggle with expressing themselves. There's some men who struggle with certain things. And being affectionate could be one of them. Being intimate could be one of them. Being communicative is another one. I'm just saying, everybody is not like that. There are some. So what would you do to encourage that? Because there probably are some women out there who are looking for their husbands to talk just a little bit more than what they're doing.
Time and communication.
Okay.
But every man does express himself. Women, you got to figure out, or wives, you got to figure out how he expresses himself. We talked about the nonverbal communication. Okay. I might not verbally tell you or express to you how I feel verbally, but my actions can also tell you how I'm feeling. It will communicate also how I'm feeling. Okay. Now, yes, if you come to me and you say, baby, look, I need you to tell me a little more about how you're feeling. We're going to work on it. We're not going to sit there and say, you know what, we just don't care about your feelings. We're going to work on it. But at the same time, you have to give us time because naturally we're not made to be that way.
And that's what Clarissa was asking. So Clarissa says, I hear you, TJ, but how long are we supposed to wait while you process stuff? You can't go days and weeks not communicating and not expecting your wife to feel a certain kind of way. She is your rib, and as your helpmeet is there to help you process stuff too. Because, we made the comment last week, you know what I'm saying? Because we even had a couple of couples that made a comment, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, just sometimes, when you're frustrated or you can't figure something out and you finally do decide to go talk to your wife, we can give you that solution because we are your helpmeet. You know what I'm saying? God may give it us your strength, my weaknesses, your weaknesses, my strength. You know what I'm saying? It kind of, we balance each other out.
We do balance each other out, but because of how I'm going to say it, because we have to be the solutionist. It's not that we're not going to come to you to express how we feel or come to you. We just don't want to come to the table empty.
And I think the thing is, as women, we're saying we don't care if you come to the table empty. We'll try to figure it out together.
Well, what that wife is going to have to do and what that wife is going to have to be able to communicate effectively, she's going to have to be able to communicate effectively to express to her husband, not just with words, but with actions. Because we wait all that. So she's going to have to express to her husband through her actions, because actions do speak louder than words, ladies. Right. You can say all day long, I love you, but if you don't show me, it doesn't mean anything.
So that means
you have to show me through your actions that it's okay for me to be able to come to you to express to you how I feel. Once again, I said society already beats us up enough as it is. Mm-hmm. So if you express to us with your actions that it's not safe to come and talk to you, I guarantee you we ain't talking to you about nothing.
Yeah, and I think what he's saying in that is, because I can honestly say what he's saying is that in actions. So if TJ decides to come to me with his heart and his broken moment, my response is not only, okay, baby, I hear you, and baby, I'm with you, but I also have to back it up with my actions. That means, so a couple of weeks down the road when he's having a moment and he still ain't up to the par that I expect him to be at, I can't be throwing it in his face and having attitude. Right. Like, you not there yet? Like, okay, so we said we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. Like, I can't keep throwing stuff in his face, or I can't have attitude, or for some women, I ain't giving you none until you get your stuff together. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's all this stuff that could be going on. Hey to everybody that's up here. We're still talking about what men want.
And ladies, that's why I believe, just like as people, we need to know our history. Ladies, I think it's important that you need to know.
Paul said write it down.
Oh, yeah.
Paul said write it out.
Write it out.
Paul said write it out.
That's one way to express it. Yeah. But ladies, you also need to know how we were raised also. So How I was raised, I had both parents. I had both parents. My parents was loving.
You gotta ask.
My parents, my parents was loving and everything. Mm-hmm. But we weren't affectionate. We were not affectionate. Like if you was in as long as you was in that house and you had what you needed, we weren't affectionate. We didn't do a whole lot of that. I love you. We didn't do that. Right. So it took a lot with Sherrie in the beginning, man. It got to the point where she was about to be like, deuces, I'm out of here.
Right.
Of how unaffectionate I was. Like, it didn't, that thing did not come overnight. Like, she got to that doggone break. Till she was just like, I'm done. Now, yes, I made a decision that I was going to change, but that was for me. That's what it took for our relationship. So for each relationship, man, it's going to take something different to get that husband. Because honestly, man, as men, we are like doggone rocks. Straight up, we are. And ladies, yes, part of your job, part of your job, man, just like we got to learn as men to communicate and how to get inside y'all and stuff like that. And I'm not talking about sexually, how to get inside y'all, because that's the easy part. But I'm talking about get inside your emotions and all that stuff. You got to do the same thing for us as men. Mm-hmm. We are a lot harder to crack the code, man. I know, but like, that's too much work. Well, dang it, you married us. So I'm sorry, you're already in this. So, yes, and then the thing is, you don't know, ladies, you don't know what kind of internal hurt, what kind of internal pain, what kind of internal devastation, what kind of insecurity that man is dealing with. It's a lot, man.
But and I think that's what we're saying as women. We don't know exactly all that you want, but we also don't know all that you have encountered as a child. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we as women verbalize it. In your case, you asked me questions. In our dating, you asked me questions. You asked me stuff I went through, who I was with.
I asked Sherrie so much stuff. You
asked me a lot of personal questions that I was willing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? But flip it though. Women, if we even try to ask those type of questions, most men are not comfortable talking about their past. They're not comfortable talking about
anything that's going to make talking about anything that's going to make them feel like they are condensed.
But see, and that's what Mary's sitting here is asking. She said, "So I need to appreciate Thomas more." Now, Mary, we don't know exactly what is going on in your relationship, but appreciating your husband more is stroking his ego. You know what I'm saying? Giving him words of affirmation, telling him that he's handsome, tell him that he looks good, tell him that he's doing good, tell him that you're proud of him in spite of his shortcomings. You know what I'm saying? Or if not, ask how can you assist him in what he's doing. Or if not, if it comes to his feelings or his emotions, ask him, baby, what's on your heart? You know what I'm saying? How are you feeling about this? Or baby, what am I lacking at? Or what am I missing that I can do better and trying to,
I can be
make
honest.
this.
Sherrie does ask me that. She asks me.
I ask him all the time.
She asks me to the point where I'm just like, ugh, get away.
Yeah.
But then she'll know because I won't have to say, ugh, get away. Yeah. So Trivia says my husband doesn't always tell me everything because he says. Oh, we did.
Yeah, we're past that thing. No, I got you. You were talking.
Oh no, because he said that's true, teacher. I can tell Trivia everything.
No, baby, you.
Okay, so wait. So Previs says,
I got you. Right here.
So we're here. All right. So, so which one? All right. So David said, give that space and opportunity to him to be ready to verbalize their mindset. Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. George says, as far as details, there are certain situations. Thank you, George. That there is no need for details. Thank you, George. And we can.
Clarissa was talking about, what about that man that doesn't know how to communicate?
We can discuss that later, LOL, especially handling business time. Clarissa said your actions could come off negatively if you don't know how to communicate appropriately. That is so true.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. Yeah. Perception sometimes can be off.
That is so. That's why I said each marriage is different. Yeah, you have to find out what communication method that works best for your marriage. Right. You know what I'm saying? We can give you tidbits, but you got to go and you got to do some research. You might even have to try some different methods. To see if they work. Some of them may work, and then the ones that do, you write them down or put that memory in your mind. Oh, that worked. Oh, you know what? He cracked a little bit. Oh, I might have tried this again. You have to do some investigation. Me and Sherrie have done a lot of investigation, and some of the investigation was positive. and some of the investigation was negative.
Right.
But you take what works and you utilize it, and you throw away what doesn't work, because everything ain't gonna work. Mary said, "We are there as well. I'm about to give Thomas the dudes. I'm just praying about that."
She said she had to peel him back layer by layer. He was engaged before. And that's the thing.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier about, you don't understand what kind of internal hurt and pain, because yes, I mean, just like women do, women go through pain and hurt too, but women are more they're more vocal about theirs. So it's easy, not I can say it's easier, but a lot of times when you talk about something, you know what I'm saying, you can get over it. You know what I'm saying? But most of us men, we don't do a lot of talking. So we compound. And when we do get that moment of release, that's why, ladies, if you do have a man who comes and talk to you about anything, I'm not saying that it's the greatest thing ever, but if you have a man who comes and talk to you about something, you need to cherish that moment, because it took a lot for us to come and say anything about how we're feeling eternally. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, according to society, when we say what we say, like I said, we're looked upon as weak or less than, or whatever case. Like I said, we already get enough of that stuff, and we don't feel like dealing with that stuff with our wife either.
Yeah. Okay. So Mary says when he get that hair and beard cut, she's falling in love all over again, which is great, and I agree with you. But the thing is that not to take away your love for that, but that makes it about us. That makes it about us, because I can tell TJ all day long. I love when his hair is cut fresh and he got his cologne on and his beard is cut. But what if he's going through a season where he wants to shave his whole beard off, and he wants to keep it, and that's how he's feeling. That's what he wants at that moment. You know what I'm saying? Can we respect that in that season? That's where he's at. You know what I'm saying? So, kudos. I think you should fall in love with him all over again when he has his hair cut. So, because that's something you want. But I think the thing is, we as women, I'm not saying that men should not take in consideration of what we want. But the reason why we should. But the reason why we did this live, because I wanted women to really just take an introspective of what men want. And every man is different. They have different wants, different desires. Some men want a lot of needs. Some men want a lot of sex. Some men don't have a sex drive. Some men want a lot of romantic dates. Some men want you to play Xbox and PlayStation and all that stuff with them, playing games with them. Some men want you to go out and do axe throwing or something like that.
Music.
Some want music.
Some men just want you to go and work out with them.
Work out, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I think the thing is we have no problem telling them what we want. And I think sometimes we need to listen to what they're saying and what they're not saying. You know what I'm saying? Decoding a man is hard, but for us. But decoding a woman for a man is hard as well. We're two different species, and God has made us so intricately. And it's like we're always trying to figure each other out, because we're ever evolving, we're ever growing, and we're growing, and we're doing this together. Some of us are doing this together with kids. And, we're still trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? What we like, what we don't like. She liked that yesterday, but she don't like it today. He wanted that. He wanted something yesterday. He don't want it today.
We're working out together is love. Yes, it is, y'all. Working out together is love. Matter of fact, working out together is intimacy.
You're so silly.
And I ain't talking about the bedroom. I'm talking about the gym.
Lord,
it's intimacy.
I mean, so, what if your husband tells you, because TJ doesn't like me wearing wigs and stuff like that, and little fake ponytails and fake hair. What if you...
know why? Let me, because...
No, you don't like it, no. I'm just saying. What if your husband, what if he wants you to dye your hair a certain color? Or what if he wants you to dress up for certain occasions, but you're not the type to dress up? Are you willing to be uncomfortable to appease him for what he wants? You know what I'm saying? It was a hard pill for me to swallow when TJ started suggesting certain things that he would like for me to see, things that he wanted me to do or wanted me to wear and stuff like that. And then I felt some type of way when I used to wear little fake ponytails or I put some weave in my hair. He'd be like, "All right, so when you going back to your natural hair," or something like that. He'll make comments.
Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you the best thing. My middle child, and then we're gonna go to Mary's comment. The best thing. So those no nice. She cute little girl, man. Let me tell you, she gave her daddy a gift. there was a piece that Sherrie used to wear on her head.
A ponytail piece.
I call it a piece, whatever you want to call it. A ponytail, a hoppertail, whatever it was. I ain't like it. So Naya got it one day, and I love her. That's why I love her to this day. Naya got it one day. How old was Naya?
She was like 2 or 3.
2 or 3 years old. Got her a pair of scissors, and she's called herself doing some hair and cut that thing up.
She got her scissors and cut my weave ponytail up. I was mad.
I could have gave that girl.
She was sitting on the floor with the scissors in her hand. They were bigger than her hands, and she was just cutting that ponytail up.
You know what? That was
mad.
That was one of the best days of my life.
And he bust out laughing.
That was one of the best days of my life.
He bust out laughing.
God killed that demon. He killed that Goliath. With some scissors, not with a rock.
He picked her up and told her how great she did, and I was sitting there like, no.
I was so proud of her. I was so proud of her.
No.
I was so glad that God allowed Sherrie to bear her. It did my life well. Mary, you said Thomas said he wants me to listen and not argue. Yo, let me tell you how when me and Sherrie first got together, right? Sherrie used to screaming and yelling. I mean, she was used to going for
I come from a family that
so
all the time.
What I used to do, man, and it used to make her mad to the point where she just like, you know what? Okay, this ain't working. She used to yell and fuss. And what I would do is I wouldn't say a word. Or when I said something to her, I would say it calmly. And it would irk her nerve. I mean, one day she just got to fussing and I ain't say a word. Like I just stayed quiet. And I just said, look. I mean, and she was hot. And I told her, I said, are you finished yelling? If you gonna still yell, I'm not listening to what you're saying because I'm not listening to you. And it made her mad, but she went and thought about that thing. Yo, if I'm yelling at him, I'm talking at him. Yeah. That joker gonna shut down, which is what I did.
And it
was like, and
slammed down.
In my mind, it was literally like Charlie Brown, that teacher on the Charlie Brown. Wah, 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 wah. It was just like noise, like screeching fingernails. And I won't listen to the crap. But when she learned how to communicate with me, she realized that she can't get through to me by yelling. And when she got through, it took some time. Like I say, it's communication method. When she realized I can't get through to him by yelling, and I got to actually bring myself down. That's how he gonna understand and listen to me. That's what she started doing. So what David said, no weave, no fake ponytails. Yes, we don't wear them over here. In holiness, get that out of your head. Wear your hair. I love it, bro. I love it. Feel it the same way. The reason why is because I love. Now, if she wants to wear whatever, that's her body. She do what she choose. I am pleased. It's where I am pleased and I am content and I am happy. I am ecstatic and overjoyed with her natural beauty. Sherrie don't need anything to enhance her beauty. It's already there. So that's my 2 cents.
Okay, so we have truly enjoyed this What Do Men Want? To hear from the men. We had a lot of men to chime in last week. Charles was one of them. And this week we had a few guys to come in, but we have more women to come speak, which was good too, because I wanted the women to come in as well. But, the thing for both, for male or female, we need to learn how to listen to each other. We need to stop hearing each other. Because when we're hearing each other, all we're hearing is what we want.
It's opinionated listening.
We're hearing what we want and our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings, and we're not actually listening to what they want as well. We have to do that. And the Bible says, and this is just this is the NIV version. It says, my dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen. The Bible says, for those that are Christians and they follow the word, God says we should be quick to listen. So that means, we as women, we're quick to form an opinion. We don't even hear all the words that come out your mouth because we already formed an opinion of what we think you're going to say.
God, I feel God in that.
And you know what I'm saying? God said we need to be quick to listen. So we as women and as men, we need to be quick to listen to each other and then slow to speak. Because honestly, when we listen to each other, it gives us the opportunity to process, to understand, to comprehend what the other person is saying. And not only that, it gives me the opportunity to see it from your point of view. To take a minute to step in your shoes.
And to listen opinionless.
Okay.
Meaning, while we're talking, while we're talking, you're not forming an opinion while we're talking.
Right.
You have, it's like.
Your opinion doesn't come until after the discussion is over.
It's like eating dinner. Like, while we're talking, you literally sit there and while we're talking, you have our undivided attention. Like you're not thinking of a comeback. Like you're literally listening and comprehending what we're saying first. Step one, listen and comprehend.
Yeah, so quick to listen. The Bible says quick to listen, then slow to speak.
Yeah, don't waste time.
Because not only that, you need to be mindful of the words that come out your mouth next. You know what I'm saying? Because how you respond or react, it would tell how this whole conversation is going to go.
Right.
And how, in that moment after that.
Slow to speak, because what you say, you can't take back.
Yeah. And then it says slow to become angry. Because honestly, if you saying certain things out of your mouth that you shouldn't be, the first thing you're going to do is get angry. Now do we get angry? Yes. The Bible says be angry and sin not. Do we get in arguments as couples? Yes, we do. With friendships, relationships, we all get in arguments. But the thing is, I think a lot of arguments can be avoided if we were honestly quick to listen and slow to speak.
And since we're talking biblically, the Bible says that a kind word turn away wrath.
Right. So, you know what I'm saying? If you need to get your vent out, then get your vent out. If you passionate how you talk, then be passionate how you talk. But the thing is, at the end of the day, both of you have to take the time to listen to what each other's saying, verbally and non-verbally.
So, Clarissa, we do give you something to talk about. The question is, are you listening, are you comprehending, and are you visually observant of what we're actually saying? That's what we've been saying the whole time. Is as men, we're not going to always have verbal communication for you to hear. Sometimes you have to observe our physical to hear what we're saying. So it's a two-part thing. Everything ain't always going to be verbal. Some of it's going to be nonverbal.
But she's trying to say that it's never verbal.
Because it's nonverbal. So you have to figure out that nonverbal.
But I don't totally agree with that.
I do.
No. I'm talking about for me. For Sherrie Watrice Bridgers, for me, and being married to you going on 15 years, let you walk around this house nonverbal for 2-3 weeks, we're going to have some issues. So I'm saying, I understand your nonverbal and pick up your discernment and speaking the Holy Ghost and all that good stuff, but naturally, be honest, be real. As a woman, if my husband is going through something, I need to know something. And your verbal cues and your silence for 3-4 weeks ain't helping.
No, I'm not saying be silent for 3-4 weeks, but what I am saying is, if we're doing what we're supposed to do, all right? Now, if there are some men who are not doing what they're supposed to do, that's a different thing. But if we're doing what we're supposed to do, just give us a moment.
I don't mind giving you the moment. I've learned to give you a moment. I've learned to give you your space. But if we're talking about more than a week, more than 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? And you ain't said nothing. And you know what I'm saying? You ain't even saying, well, baby, I'm just really going through something right now. Can you just give me a minute? Like each week, I can take that. I don't know about nobody else, but I can take that. But I'm just saying, as a woman, I understand you going through, you trying to figure it all out in your head, and God is dealing with you and all that stuff. But I ain't going to sit over here and be chopped liver either. I need some type of verbal communication.
So, I'm going to say this, and women not going to agree, and that's fine.
You need to bring yourself back in.
I'm not saying this for women to agree. But sometimes, as a man, and like I said, once again, I will be honest with you, I really don't care if y'all agree. That's what I'm saying. But I'm going to tell you how y'all say you say no moments. You say straight talk. You say straight talk, but I can't speak from a woman, but I can speak from a man. So because I'm never going to be a woman. But what I'm saying is, we are made differently. Yes. There's some things that you're not going to understand, and it's going to frustrate the life out of y'all. About us.
Granted.
But what I am saying is, if you're married to that man, and I get it, woman want to hear this, but if you're married to that man, it's all about how y'all communicate, and it's all about what kind of communication method y'all come up with. But sometimes we feel like it's safer to not say anything. And I'm not saying...
Okay, you feel Okay.
That's what I said.
Okay, you feel.
I said...
All right.
My statement
you feel.
Is not how you're going to feel about what I'm saying, because for a man, sometimes when we're going through certain things, we're thinking from how we're coming from. So it's really not about, well, how's she gonna feel? Now, should we be more open minded and think more? Well, you know what? If I don't say something to her in 2 weeks or a month, how's she gonna feel? Sometimes when you're going through, that's not going through your mind.
I say at least give me that much respect.
And I said it.
Give me that
but
much respect.
It is not about us respecting you or disrespecting you. I'm saying it's just like anybody when you're going through something.
Okay, well let me change the word respect. Give me at least that much consideration, which is still the definition of respect. Give me at least a bit of consideration.
When you're going through, you feel like sometimes that you're in this by yourself. Now, is it true? No, it's not true because you got your wife. She's there. But sometimes when you're going through, especially if you're getting hit on every odd, sometimes you feel like it's safer just to say nothing. Now, is that right? I'm not saying it's right. I'm not justifying it and say that's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. Because once again, women are, you guys work on the verbal. Mm-hmm. But sometimes as a man, you feel like that's the safest thing to do. Now, I'm not saying...
What you talking about, pencil you in on the program?
Like I said, I'm not saying that it's right. But what I'm saying is we feel like it's the safest thing to do sometimes. And we're not saying it or we're not acting for you to agree with it. Because at that point in time, we ain't really caring if you agree or not. That's just where we are right now. Or that's where we are at that point in time.
Okay, so I get this part. Women are nurturers. We are built to help. Okay. So we're honestly always at a moment of wanting to just help. Our heart is pouring out of
Say that
help.
all the time. Your heart is there to help. So I got a question.
Let me finish.
Let me write this down.
And so men, y'all don't want the help because y'all want to fix it yourselves.
No, it's not about. It's not.
But no. I'm just. Help. But sometimes it's perceived that way.
Your perception.
It's perceived that way. I'm just saying it's perceived that way. And then when you don't talk, the imagination can go. It can play. And so it it seems like
like you said.
It seems like it feels like
perception.
To you, it feels like that. You just don't need to say nothing right now until you get it. And I get that. I give you a little time. I give you a little moment. I have grown. That is who you are. That is your character. But what I'm saying, but for that man that feel like they 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I'm just not gonna say nothing at all, and we just gonna brush over it and keep it moving. But no,
we're gonna talk about it when we feel like we're ready to talk about it. Now, am I saying that is right? I'm not saying that. But as a wife, you're going to sometimes, ladies who want to get you. It is funny how you said, women don't want men to fix it, but yet still you want to fix what we're going through.
No. We just want to hear it.
You said women are naturally nurturers, right?
Nurturers, helping.
Help. But sometimes, once again, when we're in that place where we feel like we are all alone, and there's a reason.
But the thing is, you're not alone.
Let me finish.
Okay.
I said sometimes when we're in that place. No, I'll never do that. I said sometimes when we feel like we're in that place all alone. And if we ever get to the point where ladies who are up there, where we feel like we're all alone, there's a reason why we feel like we're all alone. So you can't sit there and point the finger at us all the time and say, no. When we're in that place where we feel like we are all alone, because women are not the only ones to get to that place. When we feel like we're all alone, there is a reason why we feel like we're all alone. So are we going to shut down? Yes. Why? Because we feel like we are on an island by ourselves. Yes, we're married to you. Yes, you are naturally nurturers. And yes, you want to be there. But when we feel like we're in a place where we're all alone, we shut down. Now, women, you got an option. Are you going to be there for us when we feel like that? Or are you going to nag us and continue to tell us to talk, when at some point in time, we don't know how to get out? And yes, we don't know how to get out. So when sometimes you're in that place where you don't feel like you know how to get out, you don't say anything. So if there is a place of help, you're really not trying to hear that place of help because once again, you feel like you're on that island all by yourself. And I'm not saying this for women to understand what I'm saying. I'm telling you the real deal.
I'm not knocking it because it's your feelings, and apparently a couple of guys are totally agreeing with you.
Thank you, and that's what I'm saying. Men only.
I get it.
Men is there.
So I get it. I understand that you may feel all alone, But I think the thing is, we're saying as women, you don't have to. It's like a choice. Because even when we go through, we don't have to stay there.
Now, that's a different scenario, Clarissa. That's a different scenario.
What Clarissa said.
She said if you feel like you're all alone and you can allow the enemy to send the wrong person to be your floating device too. That's true. But
Yeah.
I'm saying again, this is not to put the blame on anybody because I don't know what people are going through in their household. I'm saying if a man feels like he's on an island all alone, there is a reason why he feels that way.
Yeah, but that reason needs to be brought up and it needs to be exposed because, like Clarissa said, because see, all the enemy needs is one little weak area in your marriage, and it will play upon it. And especially most men, all it takes is a nice female to come say, "Hey, how you doing?" And then I gotta go kill somebody. But you know what I'm saying?
If I feel like as a man, listen to me carefully.
Okay.
If I feel like we talked about this a while ago,
but that's what I'm saying.
Listen to me though. If I feel like as a man that I cannot come and talk to you, I ain't telling you nothing. If I feel like as a man,
I heard you. That's what I'm saying. I heard you.
Can't come talk to you. I'm not gonna say anything to you.
So, but the thing is, we are not to shut each other out.
I get
if
that.
I go through stuff and I have my moment, but I cannot shut you out because I cannot. God didn't meant for men to be alone.
Yes,
so that
there
means
is no double standard in a marriage.
So that's what I'm saying. So with that being said, then if I'm going through, you tell me all the time, I'm here for you, Sherrie. I got you. I'm your rock.
I didn't say.
And I'm saying, I'm saying this for me. So what I'm saying is, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm dealing with. I got you, baby. You ain't got to go through this alone. So when it's flipped and y'all are going through and you feel alone, whatever the reason may be, and I'm praying it's not the wife, you know what I'm saying? Then we're here to let you know, baby, we're here. You're not going through this alone. What can we do to make you feel okay, feel comfortable, feel whatever?
It's more so of how you tell us. Because if you come to me and you tell me with Mr. Fix-It or Miss Fix-It attitude, it's gonna make me shut down even more.
So as a woman, but what if as a woman, we come to you and we pour out our heart and we say, baby, I'm just here.
That's a different
I'm
scenario.
here to listen. I come to you in love. I come to you with the right tone. I even set the atmosphere for it. You know what I'm saying? We joked, we laughed at a comedy show or something. I don't know, trying to break the barrier. If
I'm not used to being expressive. Now, if you come to me and you tell me, you know what, baby, the way you just said. Now, that does open the door, but if I'm not used to being expressive, stuff like that takes time, Sherrie. It takes time. And so my question to you, to ladies who are up there, are you willing to wait until he comes to talk to you? Because he is going to talk to you, but are you willing to wait to put down your ego, or whatever it is aside that's causing you to become frustrated? Are you willing to wait till he comes and talk to you? Because he is going to come and talk to you. And what you cannot do is get an attitude and all the other stuff to open the door for the enemy to send somebody to him to talk to. But are you willing to wait until he does? No, there's no double standards in marriage. I'm not saying there's a double standard that we should expect the wife to do one thing, you should expect the other. Both should communicate. But I'm saying, are you willing to wait until he comes and talk to you, or are you going to? Like I use the example when we first got together. You know, you won't say when we first got together,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But I waited. I prayed, Prayed. I prayed, and I kept my mouth closed, and I allowed God to work in you and to do what was needed to be done. And when God finished that work, you were saved. And so, ladies, I asked you the question. I said this word earlier. Are you praying for your husband? Not praying for what you want to see done, but are you praying that God, whatever it is that that husband is dealing with, are you praying and you asking God, help my husband? You know what I'm saying? Help him in whatever it is. God, he's not coming to me. He stopped talking to me. So either God, maybe it's something I've done, or maybe it's something he's experienced, or something that's in his mind. You got to go and you got to pray for us. That's that point in time when you got to close your mouth, stop nagging, and pray for us. What happened to that woman praying for that man? Just like the man should pray for the woman. What happened to that woman praying for that man? Oh, it's not about agreeing. But sometimes that's that point in time, man, when you gotta literally shut that, what do you call it? Turn that plate down and you got to go and pray.
Okay, so Clarissa said, but then that goes back to my question from earlier when I said, how long are we supposed to wait? And then Clarice says, I'm sorry, but I feel a lot of men make their marriage a double standard. I will wait within reason. You have to know your spouse. And Clarissa said, the CCs, and you said when y'all first got together, but what if this is someone you've been with for over 15 years?
What if it's someone you've been with over 15 years? So, once again, you have to know the family dynamics of that individual. You have to know the family dynamics. If you've been through something, or if you've been in something for... If you've been through something for over 25, 30 years, all right, that junk ain't going to change overnight. For some people, yes, it'll change after 2 years, after 3 years. But once again, it depends on how deep that stuff is. It depends on how deep it is. And you're already in it. You're already married to that person or whatever. But it depends on how deep it is. So however deep it is, it's not going to happen overnight. And they're like, oh, 15, 16. Sometimes it don't. It's just like a person when they get hurt or they get taken advantage of when they're younger. Sometimes it takes years, man, for that person to be healed, for them to come out of whatever they're in. It takes time.
Hey,
so
DJ.
And the thing, and so y'all. Once again, yeah, how long you should wait? I can't say how long you should wait. I can't say, oh, you should wait for 2 years. Oh, you should wait. I don't know. It's all based upon your marriage and how well you know your spouse, what kind of communication you and your spouse have had. It's all about that. It's not it's going to be gone in 3 years. It's all about y'all communication.
And then I think also, for each marriage is different.
Yeah.
And you have to find out, it's a trial and error. You have to find out what makes it work. So if you have to go to therapy, you know what I'm saying? If you have to go to counseling, you know what I'm saying? If your spouse has agreed to that, you know what I'm saying? Because some people still believe that counseling is a waste of time. Together. Or pray and fast together, or play little games that will cause you to communicate. There's so many little games. Say the first thing that comes to your mind within, when I say this word, those little games that get you communicating, I don't know what the name of that is called. Hey, Bishop Thomas, it's so many different avenues that you can play. But the thing is, there's just certain areas in a marriage you just have to work harder in.
Yes. That's why marriages work.
I mean, do I agree with him being silent for 2 or 3 weeks as a wife? No. So that ain't gonna happen for me. But if God tells me to
don't
wait,
try to shush me.
I'm shushing.
Don't be popping me like I'm your child.
I'm shush. Hey, anyway,
we gotta get off this line.
We do gotta get off this line.
No,
but,
I'm saying no. Ain't what I'm saying.
But I'm saying,
you know what I'm saying.
But you know what I'm saying. It's the thing that you just have to keep trying. You got to be praying. You got to be talking to God. Like, God, how do I reach my husband? Like,
yes.
God, how do I reach my husband? How do I talk to my husband? Not so much God change him,
right.
but God, what is it in me that I need to change so he can see me, so he can talk to me? Because I can honestly say from a wife, I had to change my prayers. Believe me, there were times I pray, God, change him, God. Make him punctual, God. God, change him, Lord. Let him talk to me, God. God, have him stop going in that room all the time, God. Like, I was telling God what I wanted. But I was like, but then I had to start asking God, why is he like this? Why is he acting like this? Why is he talking like this? Why is it doesn't register in his head like this? Even when I do this, he doesn't give me the response I'm looking for. Even if when I do that, he doesn't give me the reaction I'm looking for. Like, I had to start going before God and like, God, reveal the man that you're showing me. Yeah. Reveal the man that you're planning on growing and that is evolving, that is changing. And how do I reach him? How do I talk to him? Is it counseling? Is it more couples we need to be around? Is it certain little games we need to play? Do I need to spice up my sex life? What is it? Because God, honestly, I have no clue. What else should I do to get my husband's attention or to get him to talk to me or to open up just a little bit? Is it me? Am I the problem, God? And a lot of us as women, we do need to ask that question. Is it me? Am I the problem? Now, do I agree? I agree with Clarice when she said earlier, it is a lot of double standards. I do. I think certain men want a little more leniency in certain things and women can't have it. That I agree with that. But I still say as a wife, as a woman, we do have to find out, because we talked about submission. We talked about submission last week, where submission just basically says I respect and honor who God has set before my life as my king, as my head of my household. And basically, you know, and if he has set him, then there's a thing that God is doing in him. So maybe there's something I'm missing. There's something I ain't seeing. Maybe I'm seeing him through some old lens and I need to see him through a new lens. Or maybe God is really showing me who he really is at this moment, and I need to take a different course of action and pray accordingly. Because honestly, the enemy could be attacking your husband. Do you know if the enemy is attacking your husband?
You don't know until you're praying.
You know what I'm saying? Right. That's the thing. What is attaching itself? What is playing in his ears? What is he singing? What is in his eye gates? What is in his ear gates? What's going around him?
What's in his dreams at night?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? What are those things that could be affecting him? And it's affecting you, because God deals with him. And as God deals with him, he shows you how God is dealing with him, and it comes to you. So it trickles down, and then how you dealing, you bring it down to the kids. You know what I'm saying? We never know what it could be.
Right.
But the only person that I know can give you the sure answer of what the problem could be is God.
That's it.
And the question of the day is, are we seeking God to get the answer? Because the questions that will
His
pose,
answer, though.
His answer.
Not our answer.
Not
His
our answer. His answer. Because some of the questions that we asked tonight, how long do we wait? I ain't waiting no moment. You know what I'm saying? Those type of things. And women, I may seem like I'm not on your side. I am on your side, but to a certain degree. Because some things we have to take out of our hands. Sometimes we have to take our hands off the problem, the issue, the situation, and honestly allow God to do it.
Yes.
See, that's where our controlling and manipulative spirit comes from. And we try to make him be the man we want him to be, or make him talk the way we want him to talk, or say something. And we can't control that narrative. At the end of the day, only God can. And so that things we have to take our hands off and say, God, I surrender. God, I give my husband to you, whoever your husband is, because God, believe me, I've done it. I said, God, I give you William Thurman Rue Bridges III.
Let me tell my whole name on Facebook.
I give him to you. I give him his flaws, his weaknesses, everything that I think is an issue that's bothering me and hindering me in my walk with you. I give it to you, because honestly, I can't fix it. I wash my hands of it. And the thing is about giving it to God, we have to still play the waiting game. We waiting for our husband to come and talk to us, but then when we finally decide to give it to God, we still got to play that waiting game, because then we got to wait for God to do what he gonna do. We can't touch it. We can't pick it back up and try to manipulate it all over again.
Because you're going to mess it up.
Because we're going to mess it up. So the thing is, that's why I said we got to listen. Not just to our husbands, but we got to listen to what God is saying about our husbands. And the thing is, we can't be so quick to run our mouths and we really don't know all that they are dealing with. Right. Only God knows the true intentions and the secrets that are in someone's heart. We only know the surface of people. Every day, we only know the surface of people. That's it. And a lot of us love on surface, but we really don't know. Honestly, if we dug deep into somebody's heart and what really goes on, into the things that they have hidden even from themselves, that God literally has to go in and massage out. Can we handle that? Because what if your husband really came to you and gave you his truth? As a woman, his real truth. Unadulterated. As a woman, can you honestly say I was prepared mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually to handle what he had to tell me? Because what if he said you were my issue? What if he say I don't like the way you give it to me? What if he say that I don't like the way you talk to me, that even the sound of your voice gets on my nerves?
I don't like how you make me feel insecure.
I don't like how you make me feel insecure. I don't like how you make me feel weak as a man.
I don't like how you make me feel like I'm not good enough.
I mean, honestly, are we in a position, women, to honestly hear the truth? Because a lot of times we say we want it, but can we handle it?
Can you handle the truth?
Can we honestly handle the truth that comes? Because the thing is, sometimes when TJ brought truth to me, I wasn't ready for it. I can be honest, I wasn't.
She got angry. She got mad. She got an attitude.
I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready because I didn't know how to respond to it.
But it made it better.
But it eventually it did. It made us better. It humbled me.
It brought us together.
It humbled me. It humbled me as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And she gave us some truth too.
You know what I'm saying? The thing is, it's vice versa, you know, and we're forever learning each other. Right. We're forever learning. You're forever learning. And sometimes learning is hard. Learning is uncomfortable. Learning is stressful. Learning is frustrating. It is everything that it don't supposed to be. But at the end of the day, that wisdom and experience that God gives at the end, that reward that he gives you for it, it's supposed to make you better for it. That nothing nobody else can say can change. Because right now, nobody can't tell me nothing about TJ. Nobody but God. Nobody can take nothing from what I have learned in the past 21 years of being with this man. And 15 legally with him. So I'm just saying, did I like it? No. There was days I cried. There was days I wanted to walk out. There was days that I screamed.
Days she wanted to choke me.
Come on, and vice versa. Come on, if you're married, y'all know. There are days on both sides. There were days he probably wanted to do the same thing.
There was days she laid in the bed and cried, and I heard her crying.
But that's what I'm saying, and that's the thing. We got to honestly get to that place where both of us, male and female, are quick to listen.
Yeah.
And slow to speak when it comes to each other. And I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna put this out. I know we talked about what the men wanted, and sometimes they shut down. But as a couple, we have to learn to be open with each other. We have to learn to be honest with each other. Because if you can't trust the woman you married, or you can't trust the man you married, then there's a problem. If I can't communicate what I need to communicate to you, then you need to marry somebody else, or you need to be by yourself, because this is who God ordained. If God ordained your marriage through, what is the dang on vows again? Better or worse, sickness and health.
That's it.
To death do a part. I mean, forsaking all others. Like, honestly. Then that means then I should be able to be naked before TJ, literally and physically and figuratively. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. As a husband, you should be able to be naked before your wife. So women, we need to position ourselves to whereas our husbands can be naked spiritually, emotionally, in front of us. Not just physically, but literally and figuratively. They should be able to be naked in front of us and not ashamed of it. And we should be the same way. And so if that's not the case, they can't do that, then we need to get to the root of the issue and destroy the root of the issue. And the thing is about destroying the root of an issue, it takes time, baby, because that thing has been dug down deep.
Years, man. Ladies or wives, you all we have. You literally are. And that's what I was saying. Thursday Love is really, it's not to make you feel good. It's not to agree with you. It's not to disagree with you. It's just to give you just facts that we have.
Right.
And the thing is, Sherrie can tell you, because I'm not a female. Sherrie can tell you stuff from a female side. I can tell you how we are as men. It ain't for you to agree with it. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And you got to make a decision with your spouse whether or not you're willing.
You got to find out what your marriage. You got
to find out what your marriage said, whether or not you're willing to. Oh, that's why he's acting that way. Oh, that's why she's acting that way. And see what works for y'all. Like I said,
it could be fears,
insecurities. It's a lot of reasons why we as men act the way we act. And I'm sure there's a lot of reasons why you as women act the way you act. But there's a lot of reasons why.
Issues.
And parents issues, whatever. Some of them might have been raped, molested, or whatever the case is. Or whatever.
Or they may not feel like they have reached the goal that they've tried. Because a lot of us, we put standards upon ourselves. Yeah. And so a lot of times we do self-sabotage because we haven't met that certain goal, or we haven't provided a certain way, or we haven't done that. And
that's the thing, man. Like, men, we are wired differently. And so females, ladies, don't assume you know us, because you don't. I promise you.
We forever figuring it out.
Because just like men, we will never, ever, even though men are a little more simpler, we'll never figure out a woman. Ladies, it's vice versa, man. You'll never really figure out a man. You know what I'm saying? We are, as husband and wife, or as couples, we are ever evolving. Yeah. Ever. Because Sherrie's going to be, this is the 27th. Sherrie's going to be different come February 28th. She going to be the same when she was today. So what I got to do? I got to figure out, today is February 28th. How is she going to be today? I got to study and see how she going to act. Marriage is a ever evolving, ever learning, constant studying, whatever you want. It is a ever, the Bible says, brand new mercies. Each day, brand new mercies. You see, that's how marriage is. Each day, it's going to be something different.
But, you know, with that being said, we love you guys. For those that hung out with us for this whole hour, we so appreciate it. For those that sold into Thursday,
on you.
Those who sold into Thursday Love, thank you. I think Kristen was one of them. Thank you so much for sowing into Thursday Love. For those who would like to sow into Thursday Love so we can do bigger and greater things, Cash App, $ Thursday Love. You know, for those who have comments or suggestions, always inbox us, text us, let us know what is on your mind, things that you would like to discuss, topics you would like to discuss.
If you want us to come to your church or whatever engagement you guys got,
seminars, workshops,
invite us.
Yeah, you know, tell people more about Thursday Love. Share this video.
Don't be stingy, y'all.
Share this video. Tell people about Thursday Love. And so we're excited. But I hope everybody has a great weekend. Much love to y'all. We love you guys. We love you guys. We do. We love you guys. I think I didn't wave at everybody, but we love you guys, and we just hope y'all have a great weekend. And I hope something we said tonight helps. You know, we nobody pastors yet, and we nobody cancels yet, but we just want to let everybody know.
Coming.
We just want to let y'all know we love you, Mama Diane. I love you. I can't wait to hug you. I miss you.
You said it the whole time. Bless you.
Mama,
First
I
person,
love
last
you.
one.
I love you, Mama. So y'all have a great night. Reese, y'all be safe in Charlotte. You be safe in Charlotte, girl.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm telling all your business on Facebook Live.
You're welcome.
So we love you guys. Y'all have a great night.
Have a great night, guys. What you saying? Sis, don't hit the button. Oh, she not gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it.
Bye, Bishop Dixon. He told me I was in key. He said I was in F sharp and G.
No, man, it's B and C sharp, dude. All right, man. Y'all have a good